Good morning, Brandon. I'm filming from my car because everybody's asleep and I don't want to wake anybody up. So, um, today's Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. I want to take our personality conversation and pivot to what is on my mind and undoubtedly on a lot of folks' mind today, and that is the election. And then hopefully we don't have to ever talk about it again because we are exhausted from the ads, from the um, just the general tone and feel of this election. It has been tough mentally to kind of digest everything that is happening. So I thought I would try to gather my thoughts here and memorialize them in a video chat. So maybe one day I'll look back on this and recognize where I was at. Um, I feel like today could end up being one of those monumental days in history. Uh, but for many good reasons, maybe it just won't be. And no matter who wins, it just won't be. And I think there are a lot of people who feel like their lives depend on the results of this election. And I don't want to be one of those people. So here's kind of where I'm at. Um, you can go back to previous elections and know that I was paying attention, but probably never like this one. I feel like the Ducks are 21.5 point favorites, should win. Everything should be fine, but you just never know. And just like a Duck game, if they lose, I usually wake up the next day and everything's okay. So that's what I'm going for. I also look back at 2008 and know where I was completely bought into change and hope. Um, Barack Obama will probably always be my president. I don't think I'll ever see myself get as fired up about a single candidate as I was for him in 2008. Um, he's kind of the full package for me. Uh, can drain threes, articulate, thoughtful, somebody that I could look up to and my kids could look up to. And I hope and I don't think that race even crosses my mind when I think about him. I think he's just a good dude and somebody that um, we'll see as in 6, 10, 15 years, he will ultimately be judged as a president, and those policies that he was trying to push and how that comes or doesn't come to fruition. So, but 2008, I was fired up about the election, and guess what? I had a really good life, but I'm not sure how much the president of the United States had an effect on that. 2012, same. We had a good president, but my life was great. Um, During Obama's presidency, I grew up. I became a father. I became a husband. A lot of great things happened to me personally. Some pretty good things professionally. Um, so, so I guess I was in control of my life and what was happening, and um, the president didn't actually play a huge role in my day to day. And then 2016 happened, and I was went to bed thinking we were going to have one president, and when I woke up, found out we had another one. Um, but 2016 to now, I could argue that it's been some of the best 4 years of my life, and maybe I'll be able to look back and say that was the best 4 years of my life. Um, both professionally and personally. You know, I did a lot of really cool things. The Ducks went to a Final Four, and I was there. Went to Korea, ran a marathon, got a master's. All of this, despite our president. So my life has been pretty phenomenal, even with the Don. You know, I think Obama's video the day after Don won, just kind of reiterating that, hey, the sun will come up again tomorrow. I think all Americans hopefully can look at that and have that same thought, no matter what the results of this election. I hope more do, and more are just exhausted with the process and are ready to come back together. I spent a lot of my time, since I live in Yavapai County, fairly conservative county, and I'm surrounded by a lot of folks who are Republican. I think a lot of them are in a dilemma of if do they vote for Don or not, and I think ultimately a lot of them will. I don't think that makes them bad people. I do think it shows that we're kind of in a bad place politically, when we're that far apart, that you can take a guy like him and still justify and rationalize voting for him. So when I try to figure this out, I just tried to put it down on paper why somebody might vote for Donald Trump. My number one reason is meritocracy. The idea is that undeserving people can get stuff for free is just very un-American. So everybody wants to just get what you get what you earn. And I think there's this fear of the Democratic Party that stuff will just be handed out left and right for free, and you don't have to earn anything. At least that's the picture that is painted. I think a meritocracy is great. I think things should be earned and deserved. Where I think we fall short in America is just getting people to the same starting point, creating the same opportunities, and I think that's hard, especially for white Americans who've grown up in poverty or less than ideal circumstances, to be able to see that, and so they feel like they've gone through some shit, and they probably have gone through a lot of hard stuff. But it's hard. It's hard, if not impossible, to see the bigger picture of what our country was founded on and looks like, based on race. So meritocracy. Everybody here, everybody that I know that is a Republican really advocates for earning and deserving what you have. To the economy, a strong economy takes care of everything. I also like a strong economy, but I think that it ends up being back to meritocracy. People don't care what the color of your skin is, as long as you can perform. And Thomas Sowell, he prescribes this, that a strong economy will kind of take care of everything. That taxes will kill jobs, and you can't have high taxes, and even if you're not taxing your rich, that money's reinvested back into the towns and the communities and the jobs. There's absolutely some truth to this, but I don't think a Democrat is not for a strong economy, and I don't think a Democrat is for taxing poor people, taxes and more government. That's not what I prescribe to anyways. We have a prop to help fund education, and this prop taxes individuals who make over $250,000 a year and couples who make over $500,000 a year. Those people should not be hurting, and I get it that those people are also probably providing and moving our economy, but I think they can afford a little bit more to provide everybody, um, a better opportunity to start at the same place on the starting line. So I voted for that. I'm okay with that. It's easier for me to say because I'm probably never going to make over $250,000 a year, but that's where I stood. I think number three, that the reason that people like the Don is he's not afraid of confrontation, or at least comes off as not afraid of confrontation. There's something very American, toughness, tough on crime, not afraid of anyone or anything. I think a lot of our folks see diplomacy as weakness. Bombs are strong, diplomacy is weak. There's a lot of very, watch any movies, very romantic figures that are just tough, the true gangsters, or I think of like a Clint Eastwood type or something in a Western, just strong, silent. We're not afraid, and he tries to play on that, and for a lot of people it works. And then I think there's this group of people who are just fundamentally conservative, and the alternative just will never work for them. They are pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, less tax, less government, unless of course it's morality, more God, less gays, tough on crime, build a wall, and they're willing to sacrifice Don's flaws and demeanor and tactics, or lack of tact, for fundamentally what they see as a better path than socialism. Socialism's a bad word. Than what the left would be offering them. They'd be taking things away from them, as far as getting them taxed, taking away their freedoms and their rights. So they're not going to have that. So there's a lot of reasons why folks are voting for Don. Everything I'm hearing is reading that he won't win, but who knows? Who knows? If he does, the sun comes up again tomorrow. We will be okay. I will probably have to talk Dad off of a cliff. Maybe that's what I'm doing right now, just to preemptively be okay with things. I don't really have a question for you. I just wanted to get my thoughts down before this all happens, and whenever we see results, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be in 2 weeks, we won't know. That no matter how this plays out, it will be okay. I don't know if there's anything in Asia that's been anything like this, but maybe you can talk about some elections that you've experienced in Asia, or you can talk about how you're feeling about this election, given that you're not currently living in this country and you haven't for some time. How does that affect you? Are there other folks that you work with, peers, that are concerned about this election? And how are they handling it? Okay, November 3rd, today's a big day. And the Ducks play Saturday, so should be good. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.